All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, college football fans, wherever you're listening, whatever time it is. This is the official Hammer Time podcast, recapping and reacting to the Week 1 madness opening weekend of college football. We had ourselves a weekend in terms of not only betting, but as fans overall. I think that was like an unreal kickoff to the season. I have no words. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way obviously things turned out in a betting perspective, and the games were really good all weekend. I don't really think I was moving anywhere else other than my couch on Saturday, so it was pretty overall solid weekend there. Yeah, like I said, I've pretty much diving into that today. But before we begin, please make sure you guys are downloading or following and leaving us a review on Spotify or Apple, wherever you listen. And once again, we are also now on YouTube with video. So be sure to comment on there, like, subscribe, whatever you want to do there, and let us know in the comments. Yeah, your easiest no sweat from this weekend, or your worst bet. Kind of interesting to hear those. And yeah, and always be sure that you guys are joining the Club Hammer Discord. It is completely free. Have the best community around. Very grateful for that, for those people in there. It was a phenomenal weekend in the chat. We had ourselves a little watch party with some late night games and whatnot. Kind of stayed up a little bit later than normal, but it was well worth it for a holiday weekend. So, and yeah, shout out to everybody who came through for the morning huddle show. That was a really good first turnout. I'm very happy with the way that turned out as well. And we'll be doing that not this coming Saturday, but every other Saturday. So next Saturday, we will be back technically for week 3 on the morning huddle. And that is, for now, I guess it's on Twitter and TikTok, maybe soon to be changed to YouTube, Twitch, maybe. Haven't really figured that out yet, trying to kind of gauge our audience the best that we can. But anyways, we can recap our betting weekend first. I'll let Jake go first just to kind of go over profitable income there, because I know we posted it, but obviously people who aren't in the Discord, they don't know.
So I guess I'll go by day. I'll just go by the weekend. So we went from Thursday to Monday, 29 and 22. So 57% win rate, and then up 37 units on this weekend.
I wish I could ask why the 30 units, but for those of you who know, you know.
You're the only person who knows.
Okay.
Thank you, DraftKings bonus bets. That's what I'll say. Actually, FanDuel bonus bet, I should say.
We won't specify. We'll just look at the numbers and just say, dang, he won a lot of money. I should probably join this Discord. That's crazy.
But yeah, still, even if I still went 29-12 or 29-22, so 57% I'll take.
Very much so a good weekend. As for myself as an overall week 1, I went 20-8. Profited a little bit of over 7.5 units. Very, very, very good opening weekend for all of us, really. Pretty much picked up right where we left off. We were really profitable last year in this sport. Hopefully looking to keep that rolling into the season. A little bit of system changes here and there, and obviously getting used to the roster development and everything like that. But overall, I definitely will not be mad about a 20-8 opening weekend record. So just got to keep that going now. That's the hard part. So,
and you
going into the games. True. Going into the games for this week, or this past week, there was a lot of questions arising out of nowhere. There's a lot of worry. It seems like there's a ton of overreacting. I can't believe I saw on Twitter. There is quite literally 12 weeks remaining in this college football schedule. People need to realize. Dead. Yeah, I have no words. So I'll let you kind of kick things off on where you want to start with this one. But
I guess we'll start with where do we want. I guess we'll start with the ACC. We'll go with the Friday night game, Georgia Tech, Colorado. Biggest takeaway from that game, Colorado still does, or I shouldn't say Colorado, Deion still does not know how to game manage. I feel like Georgia Tech kind of dominated this game. I know the final score says they only won by 7, but Colorado was lucky with turnovers. Uh, some just some unluckiness from Georgia Tech to start the game, which Georgia Tech dominated like the rest of the way down the stretch. So feel like we kind of saw the Georgia Tech we're used to, and then Colorado looked better than I thought they would. Definitely still a work in progress, but the defense looks really good.
One takeaway that I had from this game is that I was not impressed by Caden Salter in the slightest.
No.
He looked, I don't know if it was just a nerve. I don't know if it was just the fact of a big environment that you're kind of showing out in a big game. But there was just easy throws, walk-in touchdowns that he missed. Specifically, there's one, the check down, that literally happened on like the 10-yard line that he like overthrew by multiple feet. It was just,
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know how poised he's going to be. And that was Georgia Tech's defense. Now, I mean, you're going up and you're going to have to face multiple others like BYU, TCU, Iowa State, Arizona State, and Kansas State. If that's, I mean, Georgia Tech's got a good defense, granted, yes. And it's like I said, early in the season. Well, I'm not going to, like I said, we're not going to overreact about anything quite yet. But there's stuff that you can definitely build from, I guess you could say. It's very evident that stuff needs to be kind of figured out. But yeah, I agree with Dion.
If he could manage a clock, they'd be pretty good.
They've wasted like 10, 20 seconds on that last drive.
Yeah.
When they had 3 timeouts or 2 timeouts at least or
Two.
something. I don't know.
He's taken 5. He's taken 8 into the Delaware game this week.
There's a good sign, I guess.
I
was impressed. I was impressed by Tech's O-line and the way that they held up in a big way. They opened up the running game a ton. Obviously, Haynes King running for 156 was not on my bingo card. 156 is a lot for a quarterback, especially when you rush into that end zone 3 times. But even on the other side, even Haynes was still getting 4 yards per carry, and then Malachi Hosley was getting 6 yards per carry. They literally ran all over this team for a total of 320. So passing the ball wise, they could look better. I was actually impressed by Colorado's secondary, but I think that was more so of Haynes trying to do too much in the pocket. But like I said, I think the kinks will work itself out on both sides, but their offense looks really good and organized, I should say. It was just, the unlucky turnovers, like you were saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Tech looks good. We're betting them week 3, I can promise you that.
That is for sure. That is for dang sure.
Let's see. Next. Let's go. As you can see, we're very, very organized here. We're going to go to, we'll just go ahead and get the Tennessee game out of the way. Tennessee, Syracuse.
That's fine.
Sticking to the ACC. Obviously, I watched the whole game, so. Actually, that's not true. I got taken off ABC with 5 minutes left to go, so didn't watch the entire game. But biggest takeaway is I actually am very impressed by Fran Brown and the way that they were able to like move the ball consistently when they weren't turning the ball over. Like Syracuse actually looked pretty good. They ran the ball well. They threw the ball well. I was really impressed with Angeli. The intermediate over the middle throws that he hit were impressive. And then it looks like Tennessee has a QB. It's only one game. We'll see. Missed a lot of throws high, which has kind of been his thing in college, but hit a 73-yard deep bomb, hit a lot of throws that Heupel asked him to make, and then at the end of the day, they ran the ball extremely well. I think they had over 250 yards rushing. The defense forced 2 turnovers. Defense got after Syracuse's O-line all game. That they were in the backfield almost every play.
Yeah, I'm thinking the running back duo between Thomas and Bishop is going to be really fun to watch this year. They had a very even workload this game, but it's going to be interesting to see how they utilize them both, whether that's in the red zone, whether that's for short yardage. But obviously Bishop is a tank, And then you have, on the other hand, with Star Thomas, I mean, the dude's still 6 foot and 210. So, I mean, they're both got a really pretty decently big frame to them. But I was very impressed by the way that Joey got the ball to the playmakers and Mike Matthews, Brazil, Staley. The deep ball was on. It looked great. He looked poised. He looked calm. It didn't look like it was too big of a show for him. But yeah, him and Nealon this year is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see that next week.
Yeah, one other thing I'll add is when he rolled out of the pocket, those two touchdowns he had, the one to Star Thomas and then the one to Kitzelman at the end of the game.
Yes.
Last year, that's a run from Nico, and he may not get in the end zone. Joey being able to get out of the pocket and then look downfield and make those, like those were off platform, kind of off his back foot kind of throws, and they were right on the money.
Yeah.
Especially the one to Star. I mean, the Star back shoulder, only he could get to it. Like that was a great throw.
I like him that he can extend plays this year for sure. But yeah, I agree.
Let's see.
I think you skipped or never, since we're doing ACC, never mind, I forgot. Well,
I
we'll
didn't
go
skip a
back
game.
to it.
I haven't
No,
skipped
we're
a game
not.
yet.
Not yet.
Oh, I'm not going to that one yet. Um, we're gonna go to the beatdown that was given in Tallahassee. Is what we're gonna go to.
Oh, perfect.
Florida State 31, Alabama 17. Probably the biggest upset of this week from a national perspective, I would say. Alabama, that might be the worst I've ever seen Alabama play football. That
That was pretty
was,
bad.
I mean, from what I've seen on some stuff that I've been looking at, is there were 22 different plays where a defensive player was not running at full speed to tackle a ball carrier or do. Like, I've never seen Alabama get pushed up front like that. I've never seen them miss tackles like that. And all we heard all offseason long was these are the hardest practices that they've had. This is just like Nick Saban. And then this happens. I'm sure everyone's heard the stat of DeBoer's now lost 5 games as a double-digit favorite in his first 14 games as the Alabama head coach. And Saban did it 5 times in 11 years. So I'm
Yeah.
not going to overreact and say that Alabama's dead or that Alabama is going to go 5-7 or whatever. This team is still really talented. I don't know if Ty Simpson's the right QB to be playing after what we saw. Brian Williams had the worst game of his career, even without the concussion. I mean, multiple drops, wasn't getting open. I thought Bernard was really good, but if they've got to fix the defense and they have to fix the pass, they have to fix the passing game too. Because I know Ty Simpson threw for 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, but the passing game looked awful.
His completion rating was terrible.
Yeah,
They couldn't complete a pass to save their life.
I mean, I've never seen, and I was thinking this during the game, I've never seen that many compact formations from DeBoer. Like they were going
So
two
many
by two.
bunch sets.
They were going 2 by 2,
Yeah.
like 2 yards from the offensive tackle. Like there was no space. It was like the game was being played in a phone booth, and I feel like Alabama did that to themselves. And then we have on the other side of the ball, give props to Florida State. Gus Malzahn, Norvell, Tommy Castellanos. Castellanos balled.
He did his thing. He had his way. That's for
I
sure.
mean, 78 yards rushing, 152 passing. Did everything that they asked him to do. They played well, like very very well.
Yeah. I I think I'm going to have to give more credit to Florida State's secondary and their defense as a whole, rather than blaming it completely on Ty Simpson and the receiving core of Alabama. First of all, we know how talented these guys are. You guys, Bernard, Ryan Williams, obviously, we know what they can do. We know what they're capable of. Isaiah Horton's another one who had a very bland game. He had one catch, I think.
I think he got hurt too.
That's true. But I mean, how about like Earl Little Jr. or like Justin Cryer? Like, I mean, these guys in the linebacker core, the secondary, I mean, they were lighting it up. Like, they were everywhere at all times during this game. Whether that was making a pass breakup that's probably not going to show up on a stat sheet 90% of the time. I mean, they had 5 total PBUs the entire game. I mean, granted, they only got the tie 3 times, but the O line kind of looked shaky from Alabama's end. They had
Run
some
blocking for
misconceptions.
sure.
Yeah, I know they had a couple of bad penalties. I don't, and granted, you can probably credit that to the environment that it was, because that place was indeed rocking. But like I said, if you let them get in the game, I mean, that's going to happen. But 7 TFLs didn't really force a turnover. Actually, no, they didn't. I don't know what it doesn't look like. But
I mean, they turnover on downs, but no actual like live balls.
right,
I don't think.
right. It's just mind blowing. But I think it's going to be more of, like I said at the beginning of the year, Florida State's probably the biggest question mark of the entire in the entire country. And if this is the new look for Norvell, for Malzahn, all these guys, I got to be feeling pretty freaking good if you're a State fan right now. I mean, your schedule, you get three games of pretty much easier games. I mean, you play at Virginia before going to Miami, but Miami's at home, and then you look at Miami, another one. I mean, that's going to be your toughest game there. But I mean, like I said, Florida State looked really good, but like I said, Alabama did look pretty bad. But I don't know. You better figure out things quick because you got Georgia coming up this month. So
I mean, Wisconsin comes in 2 weeks.
that's true too. But I'm not really too high on them after they lost their quarterback, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
I
But
mean, sure, but who's to say that they don't just do the exact same game plan Florida State does? I'm not saying that
it's
Wisconsin's going to beat
possible.
Alabama, but
That very well could be a Ryan Grubb thing. Like I don't know what he was thinking with it. But I mean, he doesn't have
you mean,
Udunzi. He doesn't have Polk.
oh yeah. I mean,
It's
I think it was on both coordinators. I think
absolutely was.
Grubb's game plan was terrible, and then I don't know what Kane Womack did. Like this what, third loss in the last 2 years to a quarterback who only runs the ball and throws for 150 yards a game.
I'd say
Jackson
so.
Arnold last year get embarrassed. Vandy last year can't get a stop. Now this.
It's pretty
Like
bad.
in no world should an Alabama defense be allowing 31 points to Florida State and Tommy Castellanos. No offense to Tommy Castellanos or Florida State, but they're just different athletes on the other side of the ball, and they credit to Florida State didn't look like it.
I'll be biased, and just because I have a natty ticket in for Bama, but I mean, good God, I'm I'm hoping we don't see another performance as bad as this one in the year. But they need to get something together.
I mean, they
Like
still got to play
that.
Mateer, Diego,
The
Arnold,
schedule's not easy
Arnold
now,
again.
especially after this game. It's not going to be easy after looking at that game.
Think about all the running quarterbacks they play:
That's
Stockton,
what I'm saying. It's
Diego,
yeah.
Mateer, Arnold, Marcel Reed. Like the only pure pocket passers are going to play are Joey and Garrett.
It could be bad. It could be pretty bad.
Good luck, Kane Womack. Next, I'll give you one more game till we go to your downfall.
Whoa.
LSU 17, Clemson 10 in Death Valley Saturday night. Brian Kelly.
Congrats.
I think that's how you have to start this. Clemson got dominated. I don't think there's another way to put it. There's no way that box score should look 17-10. Clemson shouldn't even score a touchdown. I don't know what it is about Cade Klubnik actually, you know what? Pause the Clemson talk. We'll talk about LSU first. Garrett Nussmeier might be the best quarterback in the country.
That's a
Very,
high quarterback showing right there, dude.
I mean, and they didn't even really try and throw it downfield much. It was a lot of dink and dunks. It was a lot of the intermediate stuff, but I mean, he looked great. He looked in command. They were able to run the ball with this new offensive line, and they weren't going to be able to throw the ball deep because of the offensive line and Clemson's D line. But credit Blake Baker. That defense might be the most improved unit in the country, potentially. Like, you can put it up there because, I mean, they just clamped one of the best receiver rooms in the country, one of the best quarterbacks, apparently, that everyone's talking about. They just beat everyone's crowned Clemson as the Natty champs. Not everyone, but a lot of people. And then they went into their building and beat the doors off of them. So on the other side, Clemson, Dabo in home openers and Dabo in SEC games. I don't know how you gain confidence back in either of those. Like, I will 100% be taking South Carolina later this year. He
Yeah,
can't do it anymore. I don't know what it is about him and Klubnik together, but Klubnik looked like a shell of himself. They couldn't run the ball. I don't. If they can't run the ball, you're not. You're
you're
not
not going to
making
win
the
a game.
You're not making the ACC championship game.
Yeah,
I don't care how easy the ACC is. Just disappointing. Disappointing for Clemson, and I mean, it would have been way cooler to see this game as like a back and forth and just the best, the two of the best teams in the country, kind of just like showing off. And I feel like really we just got to see Clemson is it has some major weaknesses. It looks like.
getting tossed around. Yeah, I was more so surprised than like how low scoring it was as a whole. Granted, I'm giving a ton of credit to LSU's defense here, which was my cap initially with my plus 4.5 that I had. I did think that they were much improved, but this was an understatement. Like, I think this caught a lot of people's attention for sure, given how bad that they were last year.
You know how many people would have laughed at you if you said 3 months ago LSU is going to hold Clemson to 10 points,
it's pretty bad.
or LSU is going to score 17 points and win?
Yeah.
You'd ask, did Cade Klubnik get hurt? What happened? Did all the receivers get hurt?
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't know. I
They
mean,
they cannot beat teams that are better or the same level as them. I mean, it's been like that for how long? Since DJU
right.
got there?
Probably.
I
I'd
mean,
say so.
we're 5 years. I mean, ever since Lawrence left, really.
That's realistic, though. I mean, yeah. But I don't really, like you said, I don't really think it goes to a ton of credit to LSU's offense or anything, because even Clemson's defense was still pretty stout, I would say.
I mean, LSU's
They
defense,
just,
awesome.
right. They just got put in a pretty good position to score whenever they needed to, I guess. Like I said, the turnover right before the second half kind of dealt with a ton too. Um, or that was Clemson actually, but nonetheless, Clemson's defense I think is probably the best thing that showed out here. But then again, like you said, they can't run the ball, and if you can't run the ball in this conference, it's going to be a really, 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 really long day. But said my Natty LSU ticket for the Natty looks. I'm fine with it for right now.
It's good.
I'm hoping Brian Kelly can continue something like this. But yeah, Nussmeier definitely looks like a front runner. He was just so in control and so accurate all night long and made these elite throws. It's going to be a fun year if they can keep that kind of I don't know what the right word would be for it, but if they can keep that kind of talent up, or routine, I should say, or game plan going into games like that. Because in terms of defenses, I think obviously it's going to be the best defense that they play at this point, especially if Alabama looked like that. Honestly, I mean, if you have South Carolina, you have
Oklahoma's
Ole Miss.
Oklahoma's defense is pretty good.
Are they better than Bama? I mean, we don't really know. I
Is
guess
Oklahoma's defense better than Bama?
I wouldn't say that.
It's close.
Then again, we don't know, but that is their last game of the season. That is on the road too. But Florida in 2 weeks, I think, is obviously their first big test. I didn't really watch that Florida game, to be honest with you, so I can't really tell you much. But
You didn't watch Long Island?
I did not.
I didn't
I
either.
was too. But yeah, I don't know. Not really much to say about it. But both defenses look sharp. It's just Clemson's offense has got to figure something out.
Agreed. You want to talk about South Carolina?
I could, yeah.
All right.
Um,
Well, no, I was asking if you want to do the game.
yeah, that's fine.
Cool. South Carolina 24, Virginia Tech 11 in Atlanta on Sunday. The 2 o'clock game, or 3 o'clock Eastern. I thought it was very sloppy. Kind of what I expected from South Carolina with everything that was new on the team. Thought Sellers looked really, really good. His escapability is unmatched by anyone in college football. The way he can turn a would-be sack into a 6-yard gain for a first down, or a 3-yard gain into a 7 or 8-yard gain, is just, it's impressive. Thought the defense looked decent for most of the game. Let up some explosives, but for the most part was able to key in on the run. I didn't feel like, and Drones was throwing the ball to the wrong team more than he was throwing it to the right team, it seemed like. But there's still a ton of questions that I have. I still question the wide receiver room a lot. I didn't feel like anyone stepped up. I know you had the one pass to Nick Harbor super deep down the field, but other than that,
Kind of inflated the numbers a little bit there, but
yeah, and then he drops a touchdown. So the Nick Harbor experience. He's such a good athlete, but he just gets in his own way. They didn't run the ball extremely well outside of Sellers, so I think I saw what I kind of expected from the South Carolina offense and defense. I think it's just going to be one of those years where like this is the final score they need to win games. Like if we are getting into 30 points, they are going to lose more than likely. I just don't know if they can
I'd say
consistently put up points all the time.
right.
Like their offense is super fun,
It can be, yeah.
but like I thought the offensive line looked very bad in this game. I feel like they got pushed around a good amount.
I was very iffy on them because I mean I had a little side fun play in this what I sent in the server just because, which did include VT plus 8.5, which did lose. Granted, I don't think they should have covered in this game.
No,
Matter of
South
fact,
Carolina was the
honestly,
right side.
that punt return kind of cooked things from there. But
Beamer.
I, I don't really. I'm not gonna over. I mean, I can confidently say Kyron Drones looks bad. I'll say that. But as for like Sellers, I mean, he's yeah, sure. Like you said, we know what he can do. I'm not really surprised about that. Um, Numbers were pretty inflated from the explosive plays that they had in terms of, like you said, the deep ball. But other than that, I mean, there's not really much here that I can kind of confidently say where they looked good. But yeah, Sellers is an athlete. It's just a matter of how long can we do that for, throughout the longevity of a game. So
Yeah. I just worry he's going to get
great,
hurt.
great throw though. I will give him that. It was a dot.
Oh, man, yeah. He's a good QB. It's just the way he plays football is going to get him hurt. So, but yeah, Virginia Tech side, offense still looks pretty bad. I really like the defensive game plan. I thought they had a really good game plan for South Carolina. I feel like they
Just
limited.
sucks. Sorry, because just I was so we were so high on this team last year. Now we just like see the downfall completely for the last like 2 years. It feels like
Wait till they beat Vandy this week, okay?
that's true.
Or is
That's
it
true.
next week? I don't remember, but
I think
yeah.
it's this week. That's like Enter Sandman's debut or something like that.
But yeah, I like their defense. I think the defensive coordinator hire is going to pay dividends later in the year. They just They got to figure something out offensively.
Agreed.
Now we'll go to Sunday night in Hard Rock Stadium. Miami 27, Notre Dame 24. Fun game. Even though
Very.
you were on the losing end of it, fun game. I
I
thought
mean, I had 3.5. I don't know what you mean.
okay. Anyway, I would say for starting with Miami, I think for 2.5 to 3/4 they dominated this game.
It didn't look very close
Like there
for a
was
split second.
there
Yeah.
was a moment here where we could have gotten to a blowout because of how they were dominating the lines of scrimmage. The edges were pushing Notre Dame tackles all night. The offensive line was getting good run push. It was protecting Beck enough. I'll tell you right now that Miami passing game gonna be pretty good. Tony and who's the other one? CJ, what's his name?
CJ
CJ
Daniels,
Daniels.
LSU.
Yeah, CJ Daniels and Tony were awesome. I thought Beck was still shaky. Didn't love some of the decision making, but he did enough to win. And then this Miami defense, I feel like it might be back. We might have finally gotten a defense that can, play some good football. I know they had the explosive to the tight end. That was a miscommunication. But other than that, I feel like they were pretty buttoned up. Didn't allow a ton of explosive plays outside of the one Price run. And then with Notre Dame, where was Jeremiah Love? I mean, he had 4 carries going into the fourth quarter. And they were only down, they were down 14-7 at half. They were down 21-7 when they got the ball back in the third quarter. Still don't understand how Jeremiah Love doesn't get a carry eventually. I thought Carr looked good, though, when he was given time. I thought he made good decisions. He almost let a comeback in his first game on the road. So props to CJ Carr. I'd like to see more from the receivers. Thought Jadarian Price looked good, but they were close. I think this is 2 playoff teams. So I would take seeing this again.
All right. Grab a bucket of popcorn, sit down,
Absolutely.
look pretty, be quiet.
Okay.
This game absolutely pissed me off.
He almost deleted the servers, guys.
Because I have three issues here. 2 of them which are actually not necessarily on the defensive side, but one of them is. One, the game plan going into this game. I don't know what it was. I don't know what Denbrock had in mind. I don't know, whatever. You can argue about Jeremiah Love and the 4 carries. Sure, it's a big deal, big whoop, whatever. Sure, star player, best running back in the country. I get the frustration. Why not? But they were prepared for him. Like, that's pretty much our offense. That's who we're going to work around. That's who we're going to build around. That's who we're going to use. That is our guy, our X factor, period. What Miami does not know, what they have not seen, because they just announced it on August 16th or whatever it was. CJ Carr. They have not seen this guy a single time. And the amount of screen passes that I seen on Saturday or on Sunday night was absolutely blasphemy. When you have the number 1 pocket passer recruit in the country as a recruit, and you're giving him 3 passes behind the line of scrimmage, and you're not throwing the ball downfield. But granted, the one time that you do, he finds an open guy. He makes a heck of a play for his first touchdown that looked like identical to multiple other star dual threat QBs. The kid's not Riley Leonard. First of all, I don't know what the QB draw system was. I don't know what any of that was. That was stupid. That needs to go. I hate that. What I need to see, work in your transfers. Use Malachi Fields. The back shoulder throw, that was perfect. That was spot on. Utilize Jordan Faison, your number 1 slot guy. Jaden Greathouse, who did not see a single time Micah Gilbert, who's a star freshman, who could be making a point. Had a couple of good catches there, one of them for a touchdown. He can run, sure. He's not Riley. He's not going to be your short yardage running back again like he was last year and get into a pistol formation and just do a QB blast on every like 3rd and 2nd and 1, whatever it is. It's not that. That's not what this is. He is a passer. You need to use him as a passer. Stop with these short screens. Stop with the I don't know what it was. Just the screens overall. I swear, at least he completed 19 passes. I would love to see a number where like 10 of those were at least screens. I'm not even kidding. I think they were. And before anybody like wants to just tell me to calm down, all right, you calm down first of all. In my opinion, you can probably back me up on it. Carl looked great. Some might argue perfect. The interception was by no means not his fault. I cannot stand that, by the way. That was on another screen pass if you didn't know.
The CJ, the one where it tipped 7 times?
Off of his foot, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not Carl.
No. If you compare his numbers from this game, or if you look at him from this game to Arch Manning, to Julian Sand, to Ty Simpson, Gunner, Austin Simmons, Underwood, all of those guys, he looked better. The throws were on, dude. Like his deep ball was on. The Eli Roden catch for the deep ball that went for like 60-something yards was on. The back shoulder to Malachi was on. If they just let him do his job, he is going to be fine. But you have got to unleash that kid and not keep him handcuffed. And yes, utilize Jeremiah where you can. I don't agree with 4 carries. I think they should have established it more. But for the love of God, just let him do his thing. But yeah, I digress. Defensive line needs to do its job better. They need to put pressure better rather than doing it in the 4th quarter. They can't really wait that long to kind of get things going and figure them out, I should say. But yeah, Beck looked mediocre at best. He got pretty lucky with some off-target throws like CJ Daniels' catch. That probably should have been most definitely complete, but whatever. That's that.
I agree with you. I mean, you can't expect. I know he's wearing the same number, but he's not. He's not Riley Leonard.
I mean, that was like the same playbook as like last year. The entire thing
seemed like
is what it looked like.
I mean,
it's literally what it looked like.
I mean, they did it like 3rd and 5, and they ran QB power.
Like, I don't get it. I really don't. What he was seeing in that is unbelievable to me. And
why can't we just give the ball to Jeremiah Love if we're gonna do that? Like, I'd rather Jeremiah Love get the carry.
Let Gino call plays for all I care at this point.
If he's I know. I'm just saying. But... give me a Jeremiah Love carry so he can go jump over a dude and take it 30
Actually,
yards.
No. I don't want to see that because then he's going to break his kneecap and that's the last thing that this team needs.
Why does he feel the need to jump every time he carries the ball?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay. Anyways, we're going to move on
cool?
Before you have an aneurysm.
Pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. But I would prefer if you did not.
We're going to do the one Big Ten game that was worth mentioning, really. And that is the big noon kickoff. Anyways, Ohio State, Texas. Ohio State 14, Texas 7. I start with the winners. Matt Patricia, give yourself a pat on the back, dude, because that was awesome. What you just did to that Texas offense, because I don't think I've ever seen Texas look that bad. It was impressive. I think from a offensive standpoint, look, we all know Jeremiah Smith's the best receiver in football. We do not need to force feed him the ball every single play. You have 2 other 5-stars on your team. Throw the ball to other people. You're going to have one-on-one coverage somewhere. We don't need to throw the ball to Jeremiah Smith when he's triple covered, double covered. Like early on in that game when mean, yeah, Jeremiah Smith dropped a ball or two that he probably catches more times than not, but like he's double covered. You've got dudes all around him. Um, I thought Sam looked good. I know he didn't throw for a ton of yards or anything like that, but I thought his he was on time. He wasn't taking sacks. He wasn't running around. Like he did a very good job of trying to get the ball out. I thought whatever game plan they came up with, I thought was very good. Other than the Jeremiah Smith part of it, I think we should have let's let Carnell Tate cook a little bit. I know he had the touchdown, but let's let him, get the ball a little bit more. Let's give Brandon Innes a catcher too. So, but defensively, I mean, that was a masterclass from Patricia and waited. Shout out the haters, including myself, because proved us wrong for sure. And then on the Texas side of the ball, I know you mentioned it with an injury to Arch. There's
Potentially, I don't know
there's
if it's
some
true or
there's
not.
something there because he was not throwing the ball like he threw the ball last year. But I'm not an offensive coordinator, so I'm not going to sit here and bash your play calling. But Sarkisian has to figure something out in the red zone. You cannot go 0 for 2 within the 10-yard line. You cannot
In
go
that
1
kind of
for
game.
5 on
Yeah.
fourth down. Like, I don't know if you saw it, but Texas had an 82% post-win expectancy.
Mm.
Basically, if you don't know what that means, if they played this game over again 100 times, Texas would win it 82 of the 100 times. Texas can't get out of their own way. It's been like this for 3 years. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that Texas is like dead or that Texas, but they've got problems. Like, even if Arch and no one expected Arch to go out and throw 350, but if Arch is just going to be a base level kind of good QB, Georgia's better. LSU's better.
It's
Like,
not close.
no, I don't think it is. I
No.
think their defense is going to keep them in every game they play in, but you've got to be able to move the ball and complete third downs. And I think the play calling, I didn't like the game plan for this game, especially in the first half. I thought there were adjustments made and they were able to move the ball in the second half, but you got to call better plays. Why are we calling QB runs inside the 10-yard line when you've got 3 5-stars? Like, throw a pass once, please.
I don't. Yeah, it's seems like it's a common theme. Not trying to be super biased just because we all had Texas plus 3.5 in this game, but it feels like every time we kind of take a side, it feels like it almost loses because of play calling or something like that. It was just pretty bad overall. Um, Here's what I'll say about this one. Arch has got a ton of pressure. Everybody knows that. Not gonna overreact and say that the dude is done for because he looked pretty bad. The throws were very much so off target. A lot. Like a lot. um, but then I feel like at some point he can only do so much of what he's given. Uh, the way that they kind of utilized Baxter and those guys at the same time didn't really care for it as much either. Defense pretty much did their job and set them up for what they needed to do. They just did not convert whatsoever. That's pretty much for Texas. As for Ohio State, Saban's probably the one quarterback that I would put above Carr this weekend.
As a freshman?
Yeah, just yeah.
Uh,
In terms of
Cal,
debuting,
Cal's quarterback.
I didn't watch that game, so I couldn't say.
Dude.
But yeah, and
Oh,
in terms of freshmen, yeah, I would. That's probably my top two performers of the weekend, regardless. And you could say the same thing for Ohio State. and Brian Hartline. It's the one question that I had is if his play calling is going to be on point. I mean, they should have no problem with this game, but I don't know what they thought they were doing with Donaldson, with Peoples. It was just a very weird, like, why are you running here? Why aren't you running there? It's very mishandled, I guess you could say, when you have Sayan who was absolutely zipping this ball on Saturday. The dude is slinging this thing. Like, it was impressive to watch. It was very, very impressive to watch. Same thing, though. Let him do his thing. I thought they had a decent enough like gap in the game where they probably could have let him take some shots. And the moment that he did to Carnell, look what it resulted in. And then you just stop. It was kind of weird. Like if I was Brian Hartline in that position, I'm full throttle. You know what I mean? Like at that point, the short runs didn't really do too much. You're setting yourself up for a 2nd and 8 where you're pretty much forced to throw another short yardage out route, slant, whatever. And then that's it. That's your offense. But like I said, it's gonna be with a downgrade at running back, like I said. Donaldson and Peoples, they're not Quinshon and Trey. Donaldson looks fantastic though. I'm gonna be excited to watch him. Dude's an absolute tank on it, yeah, and he can move. And then I said at the very beginning of the year, I would not be surprised if Carnell is the number 1 guy. Just because of how much they seen Jeremiah last year, I'm not going to be surprised if it kind of transitions to Tate this year. But yeah, I thought overall this was a very good first game for their offense, and it's going to set up for the future, obviously. And if anything, I'm excited to watch them in these next 2 games against bad teams, just to see the reps, the chemistry, to build, to really see the raw talent that these guys have. They're going to put up points. We know that. But if they can put up points against here, that's going to build up some confidence before going into your first road test at Washington. And I think it's going to be huge. So it's definitely going to be big there. And then as for the defensive side, as I said before in the breakdown, I thought the way they utilized Caleb Downs was was borderline perfect. The weapon X factor there was very, very on point. And yeah, I was impressed.
All right, we're going to get my misery out of the way now. Auburn 38, Baylor 24.
Yes! Confetti shoots up into the sky and Cade rejoices. Gunshots, American noises.
Well, fair. Dave Aranda told me all week we're going to stop the run. You know what Dave Aranda didn't do? He didn't stop the run. Jackson Arnold runs for 137 yards on the ground. They had another at least 200 with their running backs. Ran for over 300. Jackson Arnold had 108 passing yards, and they scored 38 points. So, I thought, I don't know what to make of the offense for Auburn, because I mean, Hugh Free's masterclass for this specific game, I would like to see them with Arnold having to throw it, which we're going to see later in SEC play. I'm not going to sit here and say that I trust Auburn at all yet. It's an impressive win. It's a good win. I think they showed more defensively than they did offensively, because I think defensively, being able to not shut down, but I mean, they stopped the run. Sawyer had to throw the ball almost 50 times. Yeah, they let up 419 yards, but like, it's a good offense. Like, Baylor's a really good offense. So I was impressed with the defense.
Yeah.
I was impressed with the defense being able to stop the run. I would like to see more from the Auburn offense in a game where they need to throw the ball, because you can try and do this, but I do not think Jackson Arnold getting 16 attempts a game is going to work in the SEC. So I am very interested. I know they have an early SEC game, I think maybe next week or the week after. Very interested in that, because I do want to see. I want to see his passing game personally. I want to see.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
They
I
go
want
to
to
Oklahoma.
I want to see Cam Coleman. I want to see these guys. So, and then on the Baylor side, I don't even know what they attempted to do defensively. They just sat there in a shell defense all game, no adjustments. Just let them run all over. Not once did they bring an extra safety in the box. They were so scared that Arnold was going to beat him with his arm. And this is the one way you can't lose. You can't let them run all over you because then they're never going to throw the ball. So, didn't like the defensive game plan. I love Sawyer. I thought he played really well. Throw the ball 48 times, have 3 touchdowns, over 55% completion, I think, and no picks. Like, did a really good job. Just yeah, you can't if they can't run the ball, then this offense is gonna stall and you're only gonna score 24 to 31 points. Just how it's gonna go. But unfortunately, I will take my first L to Cade this year.
Uh, yeah, I got to give props to Auburn's defense, specifically their defensive line. I mean, not only did they stop the run game, but they put decent pressure on Sawyer majority of this game. Sawyer's just a really good quarterback under pressure, so he managed to still complete a lot of his passes. Um, they got to him 4 times. There was I don't know the number because I don't have it up honestly, but there's like a lot of pressured pass attempts. Um, tackles for loss. I mean, they had 5 of those. Obviously, more so converting to the rushing end of it. Uh, in terms of Auburn's offense, it's going to be a matter of getting these guys like Singleton, Cam Coleman, Malcolm Simmons. Would have liked to see more electricity from them or more opportunity for them, I guess you should say. But this was a Hugh Freeze type of game, clearly. So I mean, I can't really complain. Obviously, it won. It did, and they've won by pretty comfortably. So I just don't think that they were fully prepared for what they brought in into a game plan. Um, as for Baylor, I think this is going to be a Michael Trigg breakout year, though. Honestly, that dude at tight end is going to be a monster this year. It's 6'4", 240. Had
Yeah,
a
the
decent
weapons are
year
great.
last year to open, but I mean, yeah, this year's going to be nuts for him. And same thing for Cole Wilson. I mean, Ashton Hawkins looked great. Josh Cameron had a really nice deep ball catch. Kobe Prentice is an athlete. It's like the list is endless. They have they have star factors everywhere in that kind of aspect. But yeah, Auburn's got Oklahoma in a couple weeks. That'll be a really good, really great first test
That'll be
that
fun.
I think they lose. But yeah, I mean, same thing for Baylor too, though. I mean, SMU next week is a very, very hard bounce back. So especially on the road. So definitely look forward to both of those.
All right. Then the last game I want to talk about personally is Utah beating the doors off of UCLA Saturday night.
That was a big one.
Um, talk about bringing the right guys in for Utah. I mean, Dampier, that offense looked great. Now it's against UCLA, who we knew was going to have a terrible defense coming into this year. So we'll pump the brakes a little bit. But Dampier looked really good. He looked in control. Thought they were able to do a lot of things that New Mexico did last year. So I was impressed with that. UCLA, I don't know where you go. I think it's a dumpster fire. There's not a single thing that I watched and was impressed with or thought looked good. And I know how excited the national media was and how excited UCLA people were about who they were getting at QB. And I I tried to tell you, and a lot of Tennessee people tried to tell you, he's not good. And it showed when he's missing wide open receivers 5 yards down the field and he's tucking the ball a second into the snap and running. He's not a good quarterback. So that's gonna be a tough year for UCLA. I do not think that's the end of it there.
Fortunately.
Or fortunately for some people.
That's true. That's true. They have a decently heavy schedule too. That's really bottom heavy, but definitely some coin flips, especially after this game. I think every game before that is going to be a coin flip at that point. Um, which leads me to say that I'll be taking UNLV next week.
Already took them.
Did you really? Okay, there you
Yep.
go then. Um, yeah, this one I got to give Jason Beck all the applause for this one. Like this was phenomenal. If you're a Utah fan and you are listening to this, you better be like ecstatic because this is
Absolutely.
not only is this like normal for Utah because your defense still did its job. It's still the same old Utah Kyle Winningham defense, and they dominated. But the offense, my God, they ran the ball 54 times for God's sake. With 8 different people touch this football on the ground, whether that's a jet sweep like wide receiver or an option or a quarterback or one of your 3 running backs. um, Dampier, even through the air, like still looked phenomenal. Like 21 for 25, 206, no turnovers. Um, yeah, dude, I have no complaints. My Big 12 ticket, I was happy with it when I got it, but I think this has got to be as clear as day here. And given it's like I said, I'm not going to try to overreact because they got Texas Tech coming up in a couple weeks as well at home, which is a great draw by the way. But I mean, you've got to be happy with where you're at after week 1 here if you're starting out like this. Usually, it kind of takes a minute for offenses like this to kind of get going with all these newcomers and stuff. But Dampier just settled in and took charge. I have no words. Yeah, I'm very very thoroughly impressed with how they played this game.
Yeah, definitely want to see it against a better team, but I agree. I think if
I
you're
said better defense in Tech is going to be huge. I think that game's going to be amazing.
yeah. Um so I mean I agree. I think there's a lot of teams that should feel pretty good about themselves after this
Yeah,
week. So
for sure. I don't really think there's anything other game wise that you want to hit on. I mean, obviously we hit on our betting recaps. There's not really any other headlining games. Had a lot of no sweats this week. Thankfully, those are really rewarding weekend in terms of misprice. My models look really, really good right now. I'm very happy and impressed with the way week 1 turned out. Um, yeah, week 2 is officially on the clock. I know we got Oklahoma, Michigan as the headliner for next week. We will have best bets preview breakdown for all games week 2. There's not really a whole lot of big games, I guess, in week 2. It's because this is a lot of the non-conference Power 4 versus Group of 5 stuff, other than the Cyhawk this week and
yeah, it's Cyhawk, Illinois Duke, Baylor SMU,
pretty
uh
much about it though.
Ole Miss Kentucky.
Yeah, I get. It's like I said, nothing too crazy.
Arizona State, Mississippi
Um,
State. Don't sleep on them Bulldogs.
a lot of big spreads this week though, which
Yeah.
is kind of what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, hopefully we can kind of keep the train rolling. I don't think I'm going to have as much volume as I'm going to have as I did week 1. 28 bits was honestly pushing it for me personally. My model, I don't know. I don't know what it was, but they were just projecting multiple possessions ahead of others, and it was just felt like I had to.
You want to talk about the group of 5?
Yeah, we can might as well.
So moving on to some overarching group of 5 talk. I had a opinion that I wanted to share without telling about the group of 5 and just the playoff spot that they're all going for. Because as we know, they get 1 and they're not getting 2. So Toledo lost. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there that Toledo's probably not making the playoff. Toledo probably had to win that game, the Kentucky game. I know, crazy theory. Anyways, so a lot of people I saw after the USF Boise game, which USF won, Boise lost. We're talking about USF basically taking over the group of 5, crown or whatever. USF still have to play Florida and Miami. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they don't win both of those. I don't think a 10-2 USF team that just beat Boise, even if they were to go 10-2, which I don't think they will. I think they're going to lose a conference game. I understand Boise lost. Do you think a 10-2 Boise team that lost to USF and Notre Dame makes the playoff? If every group of 5 team goes 10-2 or worse, is Boise still not the best one?
I'm going to say no.
Because
I think that my leading contender right now that is probably after week 1, like I said, this is just week 1. If quite literally using this scenario, which I know is kind of stupid, but if it ended today type of thing, mine would be Tulane.
Sure. That's the one I think is going to get in. Obviously beat the doors off Northwestern, but Preston Stone, dog. Tulane's probably the one that makes it, I think, just because I think they're the most complete team. But Tulane's got to play Ole Miss. I was looking at schedules because I was thinking about this. And there is a chance that 10-2 is the best record for a group of 5 team.
Yeah.
And if your losses are on the road to USF and on the road to Notre Dame, which they look terrible. I'm not going out here and saying that I'm betting it or anything, or that anyone should bet it. I'm just saying I'm not going to overreact to this personally, because I do still think Boise's really good. And let's not act like all these teams don't have to play hard teams. JMU's got to go play Louisville. JMU's got to play Liberty. JMU's got to play their Sun Belt Conference, which is a bunch of good teams. Not good, but a bunch of decent teams. I guess my question was how out there is that?
For the 10-2 thing?
Could a 10-2 Boise get in? Because I think everyone was banking on them going 11-1, and that's how they get in.
I mean, I'm going to say no. Just because I know this sounds crazy, and this honestly it really does. I should probably need slap for this one, but after what I've seen from John Summerall, I genuinely feel like they can give Ole Miss a scare. Honestly, the defense was nuts. Granted, Northwestern was bad. Do we know that? Yes. It's not close. Sure. But I mean, who else, where else are you going to go? I mean, Army lost to Tarleton. Louisiana was done for by Rice. Liberty was not impressive in the slightest, even though that their schedule is going to be an absolute cakewalk. It's almost impossible to argue anyone else has a decent shot of overtaking them if they win the American and they beat Duke or Ole Miss. Honestly,
that's the if though.
That's your coin flip. That's your coin flip there.
So I'm saying,
granted, Duke was good too, but it's just, yeah, I don't know, man.
That's my point. Is let's say they go 10-2 and their losses are to Duke, and because I mean they still play Memphis, they still play UTSA.
It's a tough conference. That's I said, I have UTSA winning the conference overall.
They don't have to play Navy, but they still got to go travel to South Alabama this week.
I'm banking on it, but yeah, it's not going to be anything crazy.
Yeah, that's my question. And if anyone wants to chime in on that, go ahead. But I'm just
it's arguable. I mean, it's a good debate to have.
Well, because I'm sure the odds for Boise right now are sky high of
Right.
them not making it because like everyone's going to be on USF, which like let's be honest, if they beat Florida or Miami, I'll eat my words. But I'm gonna go if they lose to both, and they'll probably lose a American game. It's kind of just how it goes. You're usually not going to sweep the board. That's my thing with Tulane. Like you've got to be anticipating these losses.
My thing with Tulane, I mean, their win total right now is 8.5, and like the over is looking 145, which I know is kind of juicy in a way. But then at that point, they're banking on them losing one of their conference games at least,
They'd have to lose
and
two
on
to go under.
right. So I mean, and that's including a
Hold on,
potential Duke or Ole Miss upset, which
I'm curious about
I don't
something.
know. I don't. That's my team, but then again,
Oh,
I'll
you
kind
like?
of
I like
revert back
Tulane.
for a minute. Navy kind of looked gross.
Navy look gross.
Like Horvath and the gang, dude. They looked pretty good.
Oh, gross in the good way. Gotcha.
Gross in a very good way. Yes,
Yeah, I can't say I watched that game. Sorry.
I didn't either. Which I took the 40.5. Or sorry, I took the minus 40.5. But yeah, Horvath. I mean, if I can get a box score pulled up on this one,
I mean, I know they. I mean, they put up. They started super slow and then just poured it on after that. So
I mean, they did, but not really. I mean, they put up 21 in the second quarter.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. The first quarter, though, I think they had one possession.
Yeah.
Is what I meant.
Obviously, they didn't pass. I mean, they ran for 500 almost. I know that for a fact. But even
Yeah,
when they did pass,
I mean, my thing is with them is like they're gonna lose to any team that's more talented than them. Like they're losing to Notre Dame.
yeah, South Florida is a toss up. North Texas is a toss up. I'm gonna say Army is a toss up just because it's a rival game. I mean, that bottom heavy: North Texas, Notre Dame, South Florida, Memphis, then Army.
Yeah, like
That's
Memphis
hard,
isn't.
and that's on the road too. At North Texas, at Notre Dame, at Memphis.
Yeah, I mean that's not fun.
It's yeah.
I wanted to
I mean,
see what they had.
that's probably my two most impressive group of fives from this week, personally. But yeah, I mean, if I have to pick between the two, it's going to be Tulane.
Okay, interesting. So this has Tulane's a 10.5 point favorite right now on the road at South Alabama. I have that game at South Alabama +3. Just saying. I'm just saying.
How
I'm
did
not
South
saying
Bama
any.
look? How did they
No,
look this
I have
week?
no idea. Did they
I
play?
didn't even hear about them. Yeah.
I didn't hear about any like Sun Belt teams other than I knew North Texas dominated and I knew Army lost and
I heard
Navy
about
obviously.
I heard about North Texas. I heard about Southern
They
Miss.
beat
I heard
Morgan
about App
State by
State.
17. Do I know anything about Morgan State? No.
Can probably assume that they're bad, but
I mean, yeah, but it's not like a Sun Belt team's great. Um, let's see. They ran for 193 yards, threw for 174, 13 of 15, 367 yards of total offense, 6.6 a play.
solid.
Wasn't bad.
Not alarming, but yeah.
Honestly, it wasn't even like their defense played well. Only let up 340, 159. They let up a lot of rushing yards, 181 on the ground. Interesting.
Might be one to look into next week, I guess.
I haven't looked at anything. this week.
Like I said, I haven't. I put
Looked at
in
very
3.
little.
I've put in 3 already, but
I have
like I
8,
said,
but
I'll go over.
they're all like just things I just saw and I was like that. Yeah, like the UNLV money line. I'm kind of scared that's going to reverse. It hasn't started
I'm
yet.
waiting. I'm waiting on it personally. I think there's going to be some really really heavy buyback, but
I hope there is, because Dan Mullen's going to blow the doors off of them.
but yeah, I mean, I have, well, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. I mean, I have 10 already for next week.
You have 10? I have 8.
Mm-hmm.
All
These
right.
are all models that have at least a possession difference, though. So I mean, I'll look into more next week, but
I'm going to look
that's
into
just for
more
now.
after I get off the pod.
Fair point. Yeah, I'm assuming now we can probably end there. Um, yeah, pretty straightforward. These recaps and reactions are going to be pretty straightforward. It's going to be just a gigantic yap session of us talking good and talking bad about teams of the week.
You're
And yeah, like I said, obviously, we just want to keep you guys updated on those and make sure that you are following along on Spotify, on Apple, sharing, leaving us a review there, liking and subscribing to us on YouTube. And then, yeah, once again, leave us like a comment of like your favorite look ahead bet for week 2, or games that you want us to go over for week 2 for that matter. Always taking feedback. Feedback is really big for me. I'm a really big feedback guy. So anything that you guys want us to hit on or go over or talk about for that matter, yeah, let us know by all means. And then join the Discord server. It is in our links in our bios on Twitter. So if you're following us on Twitter, it's in there. I believe it's also in the Instagram link tree. Or if you have my number or Discord, anything like that, you can always just message me privately or anything like that, and I'll just get you the link there. But yeah, it is completely free. We discuss every play that we talk about, and tons more. I mean, I don't even know what we do in there at this point anymore.
We discuss every play we bet.
That's true. But yeah, morning huddle next Saturday. Obviously, didn't really want to promote that too much for this week, but we'll see you guys next week for that. And other than that, I think that's about all we've got. So other than that, we'll see you guys later on this week. I think around Wednesday, Thursday, we'll have this preview up for week 2. Obviously, hit on the headlining Oklahoma, Michigan, and then go from there with other games as well. So appreciate you guys hanging around, and we will see you on the next episode.